and this is my story on how I got pregnant at the age of 14. At the age of 14. Oh my god. Half of this will be not said because it's personal, but I will give like the inside of what actually happened and how my parents found out and how I actually found out. So it started off in about 2016, like around August time. I met this boy and he was like older than me. Let's just call him Donut. I'm gonna call him Donut, cause like, why not? I met Donut, and Donut was like older than me, so I was 14, just turned 14 because my birthday is 7th of August, and he was 17, so I was like dating him at the time, and we was having sex, but that's not the point. Actually, that is the point. Okay, that is the point. Basically, it's just like, we wasn't a long relationship, our relationship wasn't really healthy, it was basically horrible. Traumatic. We broke up October time, so since then I was dating other people. You know, I was going to school, but I was feeling like kind of weird like a month after, so I was getting all like side effects and everything of pregnancy, but I didn't like take knowledge of it or like care about it because I was thinking, oh yeah, I'm 14, you know, that's not gonna happen to me. But I took a pregnancy test, and dumb enough, my friend thought it said negative. Yeah, it said negative. And so a few months go by, and I'm still feeling this feeling. I'm being constantly sick in the toilet, like I'm getting other side effects, like, you know, eating loads and going to the toilet loads, stuff like that. So I got another pregnancy test, and it was like a clear blue one. I remember it was on a Sunday night that I took it. So the next morning, it would be Monday, so I'd have to go to school, and we'd have like double PE. That was back in like year 10. So I took the pregnancy test, and it come out 3+, like pregnant. Obviously, I told a few of my mates that like were close to me, like obviously they meant a lot to me and everything. So I told them, yeah. So I was kind of scared, so I went to school. I was upset, but I didn't say anything. So I refused to do PE. Oh, what's break? So I refused to do PE the next day, and basically they were kind of like brought me out because I refused to do it. Why do I keep having voice breaks? So they like kind of started like asking questions and like getting deep into it, like, oh, is your body changing, like is something going on? And they kind of guessed at the end what was going on, and I got upset. So at this point I was planning to tell my mum myself the next day, like just before I was going to school, so she could have the whole day to think about it. But instead they thought it was safer to bring them in, which I don't really think it was right of them, but you know, it's what they thought they should do. So they brought her into a meeting. I was scared. I thought I was going to get killed, you know, my head chopped off. My mum's not that abusive, don't worry. And she was just like, is it that boy, that 17-year-old, blah, blah, blah. She got really upset, but she wasn't, like, angry at me. She was, like, my main supporter throughout it all. So I went to the doctors, and they signed me up to go to this place for an emergency scan because I didn't really know how far gone I was. I was kind of confused between, like, I'm at 4 months. At this time, it was, like, January time, so when we broke up, it was like October. So basically, I don't even know how far gone I was until I actually went to the doctors and got the scan. So at the scan, they told me like have my decisions, and then it come to the actual scan part, and they told me I was already 18 weeks gone. So I was already nearly like through my pregnancy, basically. So because I was already like halfway through my pregnancy, I couldn't really do anything about it. So I only really had like adoption or actually having the baby. Like it took me a few like days and that to like think of what I actually wanted, so I decided to keep the baby. So I went through the pregnancy, going to school, everything, and it was fine. Like I didn't tell people like personally because I felt like it was like a bad thing to do because it was what I was going through, and I know people would say stuff about it. Either way, people were saying stuff and like making me feel intimidated and horrible because people were just making up these rumours, and yeah, really, they were just doing it. And it come to like the end of my pregnancy, I was around 33 weeks. I had something wrong, like it's called preterm premature rupture of the membrane, where my waters broke before I was actually meant to go into labour, or like it broke for like a series, like a few months or whatever, yeah. So 33 weeks, my waters broke, and I had to go to the hospital. Stayed in there for about 6 days until they sent me home. when I got home, I felt really ill and horrible. So my midwife rushed out to see me, and she was kind of just like, oh, you need to go back to the hospital, you don't look right at all. So I went back and they told me to stay in. Luckily she did, because, you know, I went into labour the next day, which was actually my mum's birthday. So I was in 6.5 hours labour, and it was horrible. Literally the most worst thing ever. The needle in the back.
Epidural.
Yeah, epidural. Asked for the epidural, and they kind of was like going behind my back, going, oh yeah, we're not going to get it out. But they told me that they was going to get it me. I was actually fine up until 8 centimetres. I wasn't screaming or anything until the end. I was absolutely screaming. I think I scared everyone on labour suite, honestly. All the mothers like being due and shit, I scared them. So I had my daughter, and because she was premature, she was 33 weeks, 6 days. I had to stay in. She was only £4.3. So I had to stay in for like another week until she was about 35 weeks, I think. They said that I had to stay in till. But she was fine, although she did suffer like a bit of something else. I can't remember what it was called. But like she had to stay in like this blue bed type of thing with a light. I couldn't really pick her up or anything for a few days until that was gone. And other than that, things were fine. I came home and everyone, you know, was up my until a few months went by and everyone hated me again. So I've had to add an extra part to this video to explain more about my emotions and my determinations after everything that happened with me having a child at 14, because I didn't really add it in the previous video that you just watched. So basically, starting from the start, when I actually found out I was pregnant, you know, I was emotional, I was heartbroken, you know, I felt like I was a disappointment, like everyone was just disappointed in me, you know, that feeling deep down when you just feel like, you know, worthless, like nobody wants you because you made that mistake in life, and you can't, it's not like you regret it, because at the end of the day you come out with a child that you love, you know, but it's just hard when like everyone around you is just disappointed in you and you feel so let that, like you let everyone down basically. And throughout the whole pregnancy, you know, going to school, still in education, full-time education, obviously the school knew, but I didn't tell anyone. And because I didn't tell anyone, you know, I was insecure in myself. I was going around carrying this massive coat like over my bump and everything as soon as it was growing. And you know, you was getting stared down at. You know that feeling when you know someone's watching you basically. So you just feel horrible, like in yourself, like you just feel disgusted in yourself. But this was at the time, like I think it was, I don't know how to say it. Is it Sahara? Something like that. That app was going around. It was quite big at the time. So people would post like anonymous messages, and I should have known. I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have done it at all. And obviously because people were finding out that I was pregnant, people were typing horrible messages like, I'm going to do something to your child. I'm not going to say actually what it was. And you know what? I hope then people feel disgusted in themselves. All that stress caused me to nearly lose my child. So I really do hope they feel disgusted and they regret what they did. And you know what? I kind of have a like guess of who it was. I really do hope they regret it, because you know, life shouldn't be like that. People shouldn't say them comments, and I understand like I was 14, I wasn't grown, I shouldn't have done that. So all these comments, I know, I already know, and you know, I should have thought ahead. I should have thought, you know, maybe I shouldn't do this because, you know, I could get pregnant in the end. But at that time, you know, I was going through a phase. You don't think of these things. And, you know, like, just people saying these horrible things, you know, it gets to you. And the fact that I actually nearly lost my child, having my child at 33 weeks, 6 days, put a really big risk on my daughter. And I'm actually lucky she come out safe. She come out breathing, crying, you know, she's a normal child, she's fully developed, and that's just perfect for me. But it's the fact that I felt like I put that risk on my child. I felt like it was my fault, and feeling like it's your fault that you nearly lost your child. To all the mothers out there that like have lost their child and nearly lost their child, they would feel the same pain, and I don't think anyone should have to go through that. And you know, it's just not right. Not right at all that someone has to feel like so disappointed in themselves, like they've disappointed their child, like they've let their child down. But at the end of it, after having my child and, you know, people giving me all this support, like, I'll come see the child, I'll come do this. No, you won't. Because all of these people just left me. All these people just walked away from me. They was there for, what, 2 weeks of me having her. And they just walked away. Half of them, you know, were probably best friends at the time. And they left me at the time that I needed them the most. You know, it's just hard to explain, like, the trauma, how horrible it was, you know, having to go through that. At the end of the day, I come out with a blessing. My child is a blessing, and she's given me that determination to actually go on, get a job, do what I want to do. She's given me that aspiration. And you know what? In the future, I actually want to get into a job of midwifery, because once I was pregnant, you know, getting to know the midwives, getting to know, you know, how much work they actually do, how much they put into you and your child. You know, it gave me that determination. I want to be that. I want to do that. And when I grow older, I will do that. And even with my child, you know, I'm young. I'm still doing it. I still went back to school. When she was 7 weeks old, I went back to school. And you know what? I finished my GCSEs. And hopefully, in a month's time, I will find out that I've passed them all. Once I pass them all, you know, I'll prove everyone wrong. That I can do it, that I can do anything I want, anything that any teenager should do. Even though I can't go out partying, I can't go out drinking, I can't go out smoking. I don't want to do that. I don't ever want to do that. Because, you know, that's still putting a risk on my child. So I can't go doing that. And, you know, I'm happy I can't go doing that. Because when it, you know, all these teenagers ruining themselves, obviously it's their choice what they want to do. But if you want to ruin your life, go ruin your life. But going through what I went through, I wouldn't really, you know, give anyone that advice to go and do that. All these people come up to me like, oh yeah, I want a baby. Don't do it. Not this young. Just don't. Because, you know, all these horrible comments, all the things you have to put towards it, it's just not healthy on your, you know, mental health. It's not healthy for you at all. So honestly, I just think maybe you should think before you actually do these things. Because it really did ruin me as a person, but it did give me that determination to go through with many things that I should have thought about beforehand. But anyway, for more stories like this, click the post notifications and, you know, subscribe, so then you can hear more stories on how I got pregnant, more story times, baby updates, makeup tutorials, anything like that I'll be posting. So please subscribe, and all my social medias will be down below in the description. Thank you for watching.